Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Terry Crow, and I serve as the mayor of University City. I am joined today by our city manager, Gregory Rose. We thought that it would be a good idea to update our community on the very fluid environment that we exist under regarding the COVID-19 virus. Needless to say, all of the information that we are providing to you today is part of an ever unfolding story and set of guidelines that we will continue to follow and try to get out to all of you. First and foremost, the city manager and I would like you to know that, and I hope you've already recognized this, that our police, fire, and emergency vehicles are rolling constantly. They are out on our streets to protect each and every one of you. Each time they make calls, I'm sure there's a little bit of trepidation probably on their part. And I know on behalf of each of you and on behalf of the city manager and myself, I would like to thank our emergency personnel for doing what they do every single day. I hate to be basic, and I don't want to talk down to anyone who happens to be watching this broadcast, but I do hope that we will simply all follow what our mother taught us a long time ago, and that is to wash your hands, and then to wash your hands, and to wash your hands. We also have a new phrase in our vernacular, which is called social distancing. So for everyone to please recognize that, to respect it. And I also would like to say that even though we live in a very large metropolitan area, we also are part of a very small community. And each of us have neighbors to the east, west, likely the north and the south. And if there's ever been an opportunity for all of us to check on our neighbors, particularly those who are elderly or have compromised immune systems, I think now is the time for each of us to be doing that. The city manager will go into more detail, but most all of our public meetings and commissions have been canceled, and I know you can find that information on our website. If, by the way, anyone is feeling the symptoms, whether it be fever, cough, or difficulty breathing, we would ask that you contact the St. Louis County Health Line, which is 314-615-2660. If you prefer, you can also call the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services hotline, which is 877-435-8411. As always, we want to be of service as well, and if you feel the need, you can always call our non-emergency police number, which is 314-725-2211. I would like to turn the program over now to City Manager Rose for some more detailed information about the role of our government, the role of all of our governments, and more detailed information for each of you. Mr. Rose.
Mayor, thank you. I want to review with you a few of the activities that's occurring at the federal level, at the state level, and at the local level. So the actions that we are taking in University City. Our City of University City emergency operations efforts are coordinated closely with St. Louis County and the Missouri State operations. We have in place an agreement with St. Louis County to assist in coordinating our emergency operations. In concert with the President, Governor Parson, and County Executive Page, on Monday I will be asking the Mayor and Council for authorization to sign an executive order which just officially declares a state of emergency for University City. With regards to actions at the federal level, many of you know that recently the Congress passed a $8 billion allocation to all states for the purchase of supplies for this coronavirus. It is Missouri's belief, the state, that they will receive approximately $9 million of that $8 billion. We are also complying with the federal level guidelines created by the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, which has established guidelines for protecting yourself against the coronavirus as well as what you should be doing if you believe you are ill. These guidelines can be found at the www.cdc.gov website, or you can also access that website from our local website here in University City. I can't express to you exactly what the mayor has, how important it is to do just the simple thing of washing your hand. That is extremely important and vital for preventing this virus from spreading. A little bit about the activities occurring at the state level. They are certainly focused on making sure that they are prepared to deal with this pandemic, focusing on testing. Currently, the state has conducted 266 tests. Of those tests, 15 have been positive, and of those positives, there are 4 in St. Louis County. In the area of testing, the state is working with Washington University. They are also working with the University of Missouri and other private laboratories to ensure that on April 1st, the state will be in a position to conduct 10,000 tests per day. Their intention is to, across the state of Missouri, to set up these drive-through facilities to make testing safe for the citizens as well as convenient. The state is also working with the federal government in the area of the food chain. They want to make sure that that is solid, so please don't do panic buying. It's not necessary. The grocery stores will remain open and able to address your needs on an ongoing basis. The state is also watching very closely gouging for those unscrupulous businesses that would take advantage of residents during this very difficult time. They have created a hotline at the Attorney General's office, so if you witness gouging, please call the AG's office at 800-435-8411. That is 800-435-8411. Now I want to talk a little bit about some of the actions that we have taken here at the City of University City. Due to the coronavirus outbreak, our primary focus for the next several weeks, if not months, will be the safety and health of our residents. Don't be alarmed if you see our paramedic firefighters or our police officers in masks and gloves and gowns. It's to ensure that they are protected, but also to ensure the protection of our residents. We want to minimize as best we can the spread of the coronavirus to our employees and to you. I want to assure you that our emergency personnel will be there if you have an incident that requires assistance. We have mutual aid agreements with the local fire departments as well as with St. Louis County if we experience high absentees as a result of the coronavirus, illnesses from the coronavirus. So please know that you are safe and that we will be there to assist you. For our non-uniform personnel here at City Hall, we are preparing for them to be able to work from home. So one of the activities that will occur on Monday is I will be recommending to the mayor and council seeking authorization to sign an executive order that will allow for minimizing the number of residents and citizens that would come into City Hall and asking them if we can proceed with a process that would require appointments if you want to interact with the staff here or any particular department. I will also be seeking their authorization to delay the opening of the pool I know many of the residents here enjoy, certainly in the summertime, swimming. Certainly that creates challenges if this pandemic is continuing. We are looking at continuing to keep both the community center as well as Centennial Commons closed until the conditions warrant opening them again. The one exception for the community center is that we are allowing it to be open for an hour on Thursdays and Tuesdays. That is so that seniors that are in our program are able to pick up a lunch if they need to. One final issue, I'll be asking the mayor and council for authorization to intercede with the water company should we have residents whose water has been turned off. The reason for that is we want to ensure all residents have access to water so that they can wash their hands. That, again, is extremely important. For those of you who routinely attend the council meetings in public, I'll be asking that the mayor and council conduct those council meetings through May the 4th, 2020 on a teleconference. The teleconference will enable you to dial in to hear the proceedings, but it would not allow you to participate. We will set up an email address so that you can email in your questions. Finally, I just want to reinforce how important it is to make sure that the actions that you are taking are based upon facts. We will work very hard to communicate with you the status as this coronavirus continues to exist here. But we want to make sure that you have the facts and that hopefully that will prevent you from panicking and provide you with some calmness that we're in a situation today. We believe that we are managing it in the best way possible, and we will make sure that you remain safe and healthy to the best of our abilities. So with that, I would turn it back over to Mayor Crow.
Thank you, Gregory. As we close out, a couple things I would like to say. And the first is that I have been humbled by the number of residents in University City who have already asked how they can help their neighbors. And I think that is truly a part of the fabric of our community. I hope that everyone who is watching and shares this video will recognize that in our public schools in University City, over 80% of our children, our students, qualify for free or reduced lunches. That means that either 1 or 2 meals a day are provided by the school district to many of these children. So we will be working with the school district, with the superintendent's office, to help coordinate as much as we can, nutritious meals for as many children as we can. If you would like to help us with that, in my conversations with the city manager, he has asked that you contact our Director of Communications, Allison Bamberger, at City Hall. You can always contact me as well, but if in fact the school district is asking for our help, this is one of the easy things that each and every one of us can do to help make life just a little bit better. And frankly, I think we are all going to find ourselves with a little bit of time on our hands. I think like many of you, I also have many friends who are either nurses, paramedics, doctors, or caregivers. I have made outreach to many of my friends, and I said, is there anything I can do for you? And they say, you already have, because you were just checking in. So this is a good time for all of us to check in on all of our friends and family. So, you know, as we close out, I'd like to give you a few thoughts. What's true on the individual level is also true on the societal level. Times of suffering, not necessarily times of comfort, cultivate real character. Together, as a country and a community, we are entering a time of suffering. We hope it's a short one, but we really have no idea of knowing. And even in times like this, we all have a choice. We can choose gratitude for what we have, or anger and bitterness for what we have lost. We can recognize the difficulties facing our neighbors and work to ease their burdens, or we can selfishly show no regard for others. We can choose optimism or pessimism, joy or fear. These choices, these little choices, will define our character as individuals, but also as a community. Consider others as you decide how seriously to take this pandemic. I am of the age where I am told that I would survive, that I would only be a carrier. And I think many people probably fit that same mold. But even if we can survive it, we can carry it to others who are elderly or have a compromised immune system. So we need to be thinking of those around us. You know, to all of us who are less than 60, we follow literally what is known as the greatest generation in the history of mankind. A generation that was defined by selfless giving to make sure that everyone else was safe, whether they were friend, family, or a complete foreigner from around the world. It's our time to heed the lessons that that generation taught us. This is our generation's opportunity to prove that our country and our community are exceptional. Together, we will overcome this challenge. Our character will be better for it. Thank you very much. Please wash your hands.